Today we're going to talk about a close cousin of poaching, today's steaming lesson. Steaming. Today we're going to examine steaming and how to impart heat to food through moisture. The heat is imparted to the food in a steaming method indirectly, moist method. So what kind of cooking method would we call this? Moist convective. Steaming is a moist convective cooking method because the heat is transferred to the food indirectly. That's how you know the difference between conductive and convective. And it's moist, obviously, because it's steam. Conductive cooking is like saute, direct application to heat. It's like putting things in the salamander. It's like grilling. It's like broiling. It's the direct application of heat. Convective cooking methods are like poaching, simmering, steaming, roasting, where the heat is applied through a different medium, whether it's air, water, moisture. Excuse me. Things are steamed at what temperature?
Steamed 160.
Okay, let's go back to our progression. Boil, simmer, poach, right? Boil, simmer, poach. Boil, 212 degrees Fahrenheit, 100 degrees Celsius. Simmer, 180 degrees or so Fahrenheit. Poach, 165 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 74 Celsius, I believe. Boil, simmer, poach, okay? Soft convection to the water, no bubbles. Simmer, soft bubbles around the edge, convection to the liquid. Boil, large, violent, heavy motion. After boil, what comes? Steam. So at what temperature are items steamed? 212 plus. Well, our steaming is going to use a temperature at the temperature of boiling. And I already told you, you don't boil anything in the kitchen. Boil is not a cooking method. Boil is large, violent bubbles. It busts up your product. It creates this milky sauce in there. It's just a terrible way to treat food. So why would I tell you that a great way to cook a protein product when we could poach it at 165 degrees, and I say don't ever boil it? Well, why would I tell you to cook something at a temperature that was higher than a boil? What's missing in steaming that is present in boiling? Right, the violent motion is missing. So now you take advantage of the fact that you can cook at a little higher temperature in a moist cooking process, but you're not throwing it in a pot where it gets all jostled around and beaten up. Actually, steaming, as we're going to see in a few minutes, is the best cooking method for things that are composed. Let's say you want to do ravioli, all right? Instead of putting your ravioli in boiling water, and then what do? You get like floaty cheese where some of them have busted open, you know? And then you serve somebody one of the raviolis. Look, there's no little guy in there, you know? He's gone. There's no guy. Where's my little guy, you know? And then you've got empty raviolis and a floaty cheese sauce. Better to steam. You can lay the ravioli out on a steaming tray. They take advantage of that temperature, but they don't move at all. Composed items. Let's say you're doing a really nice plate and you got 3 asparagus spears and you tie them with a little chive or a red pepper or something like that, and this is a composed item that you want to put on the plate. You drop that in boiling water, you're going to have floating asparagus and your red pepper will be floating off this way. But imagine if you lined all those things up in a steamer pan or lined them up on a rack above the liquid and steamed them, they would cook and stay in their composition. So one of the great advantages of steaming over these methods where you actually put the item in the water is that you can keep the integrity of the item, that it doesn't be subjected to that violent boil, but it takes advantage of that higher temperature. Even if we start with chicken broth, or even if we start with water, how about mirepoix? How about diced carrot, onion, celery in the water? And you're really making a broth while you're steaming something. You can put a whole bunch of garlic in that steaming liquid and have a garlic steamed fish, or an onion steamed fish, or any of the items that you want to add to this liquid. This is what takes you from mediocre to excellent. This is where it's like, wow, this has an onion flavor to it, but I don't see any onions in here. How'd you do that? It's so faint. Steaming, most often used for vegetables. Now we start to put last lesson and this lesson together in that, why do you think steaming is most often used for vegetables? Why? Why not grill vegetables? It is not, the answer is it doesn't leach the nutrients into the water, into the cooking liquid. So when you poach a vegetable and it's actually in the liquid, we've all poached carrots and we've seen the water turn orange and the carrots taste like water. But when the item is suspended above the steaming liquid, it's not leaching those nutrients, those colors, that texture into the liquid. It's, excuse me, suspended above and cooked convectively in that regard. So cooking vegetables in a steaming fashion gives you the ability, again, to control the temperature, right? It's 212 degrees plus. It's not 350. It's not 500 on the grill. The other reason that we steam vegetables, it's moist, not dry. Who wants to roast carrots? Well, you just lay a bunch of carrots on a sheet pan, put it in the oven. What are they going to look like after 20 minutes? Hard and shrivelly and dry. We want a moist cooking process. So another reason that vegetables are most often steamed, it's a moist cooking process. It's closest to the target temperature at which we can cook them. It doesn't leach nutrients into the liquid. It enables you to control that heat so much better. This is why vegetables are most often steamed. Questions about steaming? All right. What is the word of the day today, they asked. Steam is the word of the day today. Chef Moore, what is the word of the day today? And know you're dying to know. The word of the day today is papillote. P-A-P-I-L-L-O-T-T-E. P-A-P-I-L-L-O-T-T-E. Papillote is the word of the day today.